Alright, so I'm really not a fan of fat men, you know? I think fat women are much more tolerable than fat men. That's just my personal experience. I've had a lot of really good fat friends that have been fat women. Like we've actually been super close, super cool. And some fat men too, but for the most part, the majority of fat men are just disgusting to me. Cuz for instance, I work in customer service. And every time I have to interact with a fat man, it's just I hate it. I just hate it. I just hate it. They're just always just so slow, fat, sloppy, smelly, stinky. They just look disgusting. It's like, dude, you're a mammoth of a man. How are you at all comfortable with life? You know what I mean? Like that just can't be. It's like the way they act, the way they talk. It's like, dude, you're literally obese. Please, you have no opinion on anything in life. Nothing valid. Like there's nothing valid you could ever say that could be relevant to anything productive in life. Anything good, you know? There's nothing good you could do for the world. You just existing is just bad news for everyone around. They just take up so much space. They're disgusting human beings. Disgusting. I just don't like I hate them. It's like every time I see a fat man, you have no respect. None. I can't respect you. Not even on a basic human level, like a basic man to man respect. It's just not there with fat men for me at least, because they're just it's just nasty, dude. It's just nasty, and they think you have to I don't know, bro. And like the another thing is they want friends. They think that you enjoy interactions you have with them. It's like no, buddy. This is my job. Okay, this is my job. I have to talk to you. I don't want to. I don't want to be your friend. I don't want to mingle with you. Like it could be the richest man on earth. If they're fat, there's no respect. None. None. I don't even care because you're obese. How could you let that happen to yourself? I know like there's some genetic things that may, like a slow metabolism or whatever the fuck. But dude, it gets to a point. It gets to a point where like you've been that fat for that long and there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you try to do about it. Ever heard of a Ozempic kid? Ever heard of amphetamines? Like, there's appetite killers out there. You don't you don't have to eat every second of every day. And especially at food places, they will always order everything on the menu, literally everything. And it's like, bro, is this necessary? Do you have to get a sandwich with every condiment in the world? Are your taste buds that fucked? So you just have to keep adding more and more shit that doesn't even fit on the sandwich? Like, dude, you're a disgrace, bro. They'll get like a little ass sandwich with every fucking thing on it, so where you can't even close the sandwich and give it to them. You know. Shout out to everybody that works food service too. You guys are real troopers. Honestly, the amount of fat people you have to deal with ordering ridiculous items. Trust me, I've been there. I know. I know. I try to avoid it at all costs because I know how these niggas get, bro. I know how they get. It's disgusting, bro. And it's like, dude, at this point, you're trolling. Like, you don't. You're trolling, dude. These fat people are just sick, bro. They're sick. They just waddle around, not giving a fuck in the single world. Like, bro, I hate you guys. It's like, at least with fat women, they like, I would say 9 times out of 10, they smell really good and they're usually humble. Even the ones that aren't like, there's those loud fat women. I've actually, I've actually found myself to get along with them really well. Cause like me personally, I just am naturally like attracted to dominant women. Even like platonically. I like to have that female friend that's like, acquaintance that's like you know, they'll tell me real shit because that's needed. You get real perspective from them, and they're usually super cool. Like you might have to, get through a couple layers first. No pun intended, but they're usually really cool and a good time. Actually, like I've actually had some really nice fat friends that have been women in my life, and even dudes. Like, but it's like most of the time with the fat dudes, like especially like the ones you don't know, it's just they're an awful experience. They're an awful experience. You don't want to be around them too long because you just get disgusted with them. You start noticing shit like, why are your nails that dirty? You know, when's the last time you got a haircut? You know, do you groom yourself? Do you even care about yourself? At least a fat woman will actually take solid care of themselves. Hygienically, because like, what else can they do? You know what I mean? Like, you have to at least give them that. But when it comes to men, on the other hand, they just really don't care. Honestly, they just don't care. And you would think that a fat man should care more than a fat woman because like there's guys out there that will like there's guys out there that are taking down fat girls. You know what I mean? So it's not like they have like a sense of urgency. There's a solid amount of guys that will take down a fat girl. You know, like a solid amount. You would be surprised. But when it comes to fat men, it's just like that 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 level of demand isn't there for the woman from the woman. Like the woman attention they get doesn't match the attention that fat woman gets from men at all. So it's like you would think that they would care more about themselves hygienically, but like the majority of them just don't. They just don't give a fuck. They're just fat and just on Earth eating everything, taking up all the oxygen, taking up all the space. It's just disgusting, bro, and it's sad. It doesn't have to be like that. Like, why are you guys that fucking like? Ew. I just don't. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan, especially when it comes to like celebrities and shit like that. I can never be a fan of a fat person ever. Like a genuine, like a fan. Like I support you and everything you do. No, no way. Of a fat person, get out of here. Being a fan of a fat person is supporting obesity. And that's never a good thing. It's never a good thing. People die from that. That's an actual health issue. You know what I mean? And like you associating with fat people is supporting that. Fat men, at least. Like I said, I give fat women a lot of leeway because I've had some real good fat women in my life that I've actually really enjoyed. You know what I mean? Not in that way, but like as friends. I've really enjoyed being around, and I just can't say the same for fat men. Even if even if you do enjoy them, like there becomes times when they're just genuine liabilities in your life, and you just have to remove yourself. Like they low key hate on you because you're in shape and they're obese. You know, that's the thing too. Like they will start, even if you're cool with a fat person, a fat man, they will start acting funny or hating on you, doing weird shit because they realize that you're just better than them. You're just better, naturally, just better. It's not even that you're smarter. You just naturally came out the womb with an advantage. They're fat as shit. They can't control their weight. You can control your weight, and you're just superior, and they hate that. Genuinely, I've seen it. It's happened to me. It's happened to me. You know what I mean? Especially with the fat chuds, the fat ugly niggas. Those are the worst. Those are the worst. You know? It's like I just can't. If there's a fat man in the equation, get me out the vicinity, bro. I just can't. I hate dealing with him.